Oh, hello. Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Good to see ya. Welcome to Chatting with Doug. Are you just making a face now to make sure that that's what YouTube picks as the thumbnail?
Maybe. I did once for the Joker thumbnail, and I was just like, that looked pretty funny. I'll do it again. Was I even? No, I wasn't wearing the same shirt. It was a different shirt. Okay, but I was for a second. I was like, oh my god, that'd be so sad if I wasn't. I'm like, no, I'm not.
Yeah, awesome. Well, yes, everyone, welcome. I see that we are on Twitch on a level 5 hype train, and YouTube, I see you have those super chats pouring in. So let us get to the rules so that you can answer these questions. First and foremost, we give priority to the bit messages and super chats since that is some real world money spent. Towards the end of streams, sometimes we have time for highlighted questions on Twitch or just regular questions on YouTube. We do prioritize on YouTube the super chats that are $5 and over. We just have a large influx of questions, and that helps us kind of control and keep it manageable. And then if we have time, we'll go back and answer the questions that were under $5. Please do not repeat yourself over and over again in chat. You can get timed out or even banned if you're going to continuously do that. Please keep in mind with bit messages and super chats, we get behind sometimes up to an hour. So especially on the YouTube side of things, there's no need to repeat your super chat, even if it gets unpinned from the top. I have a list. It is very, very rare that we actually miss one of the super chats or the bit messages. Just
But
have
for your message,
patience.
we'll make an exception. I kid.
Please keep your messages short and to the point. The longer it is, the faster I have to read it, the more likely it is that we're going to lose the point. We do not have time to repeat it. That also includes multiple parts. If you absolutely have to break up your message into multiple parts, keep it to maximum 3 at the absolute max. Again, same kind of thing happens where we lose the point and we don't have time to figure out what you're talking about and what you said in message 5 when we're on message 8 kind of a thing. Please no spoilers. Not everyone has had a chance to see the latest and greatest, which, yeah, now there are some things. So, you know, not everyone, including me, have had a chance to see Joker 2, okay? So don't spoil the ending.
There's nothing to spoil.
Oh, really? I heard that there was a big thing in the end that is polarizing.
I mean, I didn't think so.
Okay, great. Excellent. Love that. Beautiful. Other than that, oh, I keep forgetting to add this one. Also in the veins of like having one question, no multiple parts, all that jazz. Please keep it to one question per bit message or super chat. And if you do ask multiple or if you do keep it long, I reserve the right to just shorten it and only ask one question, okay? One question. We want to, okay? We want to get to the questions that aren't paid. I know sometimes people show up and they're like, well, you have to pay to ask a question. We're just trying to do this as quickly and as fairly as possible.
Please tell me some of the comments have the
with the in it. Absolutely. I can hear the harumph from across stage.
I didn't get harumph out of that guy.
All right. So anyway, let's get to this here. Small Movie World, thank you so much for that 54-month subscription over on Twitch. Welcome back, appreciate that. Hi, Corpse Heather. Hi, Fantastic Mr. Doug. Happy Nostalgia Ween. And damn you, Doug. Oh, well, actually, today. No swears. Hopefully, please, YouTube, don't hate me. Because of last week's review, I've had Killer Clowns by the Dickies stuck in my head. I forgot just how mega hard the theme song slapped. It will never leave.
Yeah, you know, it's funny because I didn't listen to it that much, even though I was editing it. And then I think, I don't know, I saw it. So I think when I went to Spirit Halloween, they were playing it like over the speaker or whatever. And I was just like, this is a catchy song. Yeah, it really is.
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. I know you're not the biggest Scream fan, but have you watched the most recent sequel that took place in New York City? In my opinion, it's the best installment since the original.
Boy, that's funny. I've mostly heard people not like it. You're one of the few I've heard that's actually said it's pretty good. I saw the one before, which I thought was fine. Like a decent legacy sequel for what it is. Yeah, no, I haven't heard that many good things about the new one. So with that said, maybe I should check it out.
The ultimate Frozen fan, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Doug, saw 12
Hey,
Monkeys over the weekend. It was a wild ride. I see why you like it so much, but I'm curious why you haven't done an NC on it.
I don't know how much I can really add to it. I mean, I guess there are little like hidden things, but it's I don't know. It's also one I don't know how many people would click on it, and it has to be something either I know people will click on or I have a passion for, or, preferably both. It's very rare that I do one that's like only for clicks or only because I want to talk about it. Yeah, no, I feel like a lot of it's pretty straightforward. Like, let me put it this way: if you watch it like one more time, it'll be straightforward. A lot of people watch it the first time and go, "I think I followed that," and then the second time, they're like, "Yeah, I followed this."
Noah, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, how far are you in The Chosen, and are you still enjoying it?
We wait, did we? Yes, we did finish season 2. We have not started season 3. Like I said, we've taken a little bit of a break. We're on a big King of the Hill kick right now. We're just going through a bunch of those, but we'll get back to. Oh, we also went through a Chaos. That was another one. We finished that, so I think we need a little bit of a break from it, but it's probably time that we can get back into it. So we probably will.
At Movies, thank you for the 500 bits. Thoughts on Aaron Pierre being cast as the new Green Lantern? He played the rapper with the silly name from Shyamalan's Old.
Midsize Sedan. I mean, anything Midsize Sedan is gonna be, and I'm gonna be a fan of. But I sadly don't know that much about Green Lantern, so I'm not the guy to ask. I know a little bit what the power is. I know there's a couple different ones, but I really don't know that much. So yeah, I'm not the person to ask.
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. What are your thoughts on the film Hellraiser?
I like it. I like the I think like a lot of people who went in with the idea that it's going to be like a Pinhead movie, I was a little surprised what it was. But it's good. It's a good movie. I think the second one is more what I think most people are thinking it's going to be, and the second one's a lot of fun. Like that's the film I'm expecting like a Hellraiser movie starring Pinhead to be, and I had a great time with that. I haven't seen any of the other ones. I heard they're not that great, but the first one is good just for different reasons, but is a lot slower. And the second one is just a blast. I don't even know if you need to see the first one in order to see the second one. If you really want like a Pinhead movie that's done pretty great, the second one's really awesome.
Jimmy Vance, thank you for the $5 super chat. Praise the Patreon gods. Strider's back on YouTube.
Yeah, no, that was very, very cool to see. That's really, really nice. He's a real sweet guy. He's really awesome, and yeah, it's nice that not only did people say hey, no, we want to see more videos. Here you go and everything, but it happened so quickly. It was just very, very fast. So that was really, really nice to see. It's nice to see the love so quick, so big, and so quick.
Patrick, thank you for the $5 super chat. Which remake do you hate more? Lion King 2019 or The Haunting 1999? Also, are there Disney remakes? Are the Disney remakes the reason why there's no old versus new?
No, there's no old versus new right now just because they took too long to do. And I'm getting older. I'm still doing all of it. I'm writing it, acting in it, editing it, all that. So which one is, in my opinion, technically worse? Probably The Haunting, but I will admit I'd probably rather watch The Haunting because sometimes it's so bad it's funny, and at least the Gothic house is a little fun. Where Lion King, it's like, I guess aside from the technology, there's not really much to it.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In Avengers Endgame, what do you think of the section in the movie where the Avengers go on their time heist to get the Infinity Stones?
Some of it worked, some of it I thought just kind of dragged on. I mean, like, there's gonna have to be some time traveling in there. I have a pet peeve where whenever somebody says, "Oh, you mean like this movie?" No, that's just a movie. This is the real way it's done. And it's like the real way it's done doesn't make any sense either. Like that always drives me nuts when they do that. Unless they work it in as a joke. Like, we know it also doesn't make sense. So it was all right. I kind of felt like a lot of it kind of felt like deleted scenes or extended scenes, which is like, neat. But again, it's justified because it's the last one with a lot of these actors. I think people kind of want to see, the extended cut, you know what I mean, of a film like that. So it wasn't a big problem for me, but it's just a little problem.
Trip, thank you for the $5 super chat. Why do you insist on only using hard copies for the films you review? Haven't you heard of Play on Cloud?
The reason we try not to do that, get clips, online and stuff. Well, I mean, if it's clips that's released by the studio or something like that's okay. But I mean, like in terms of like download something, that they don't want you to download. I mean, you technically can be, as long as we legally paid for it before, and again, we're reviewing it. But if it ever went to court or something, like, again, you can fight it. It's just trickier. If you actually have like the hard copy of the movie, no, here it is. We paid for it. Here's the solid copy. Great. But if it's something where it's like, wait, you used material that's technically, that in some places is like illegal to get like this movie and review it and stuff like that, it's like it just doesn't look that great. So we prefer to have copies of a movie that's a hard copy. Again, it's very unlikely any of this would ever go to court or any of that, but it's just we want to be better safe than sorry.
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. I recently watched the slasher film Sleepaway Camp. Quite an ending. What are your thoughts?
Maybe you'll find out in a week.
Oh, interesting. Small Movie World, thank you for the 1,000 bits. Appreciate that. So I did go to Comic-Con Scotland last week. Unfortunately, Sean Astin pulled out a week before, but still I met the Red Dwarf cast. Got a photo with them, including me and Chris Berry doing the Rimmer salute together, a dream come true. And I also met Simon Pegg, too.
Oh, very good. That's quite a lineup. It's so funny when you mentioned Sean Astin that you said Red Dwarf. I was trying to think, like, was there a dwarf that was a redhead? Oh, the show Red Dwarf. No, that makes more sense. Yeah, no, that's very, very cool. I grew up with that show, Red Dwarf, and I think I'm caught up on all of them. I have to double check, but yeah, no, that show developed like a lot of our sense of humor, and yeah, we absolutely love it.
Jimmy, thank you for the $5 super chat. Happy belated B-Day to Jimmy Carter, the centenarian president.
Ooh.
There we go. Jesus Christ.
It's hard to say. Yeah, did he hit triple digits or no? Did he hit 100? Wow, man, that's crazy.
It is. It sure is. My grandma's gonna be 101 in 2 weeks.
Oh, that's crazy! Holy smokes!
Oh, Jeremiah, thank you for the 500 bits. What are your thoughts on Wendell and Wild?
I like it. I think there's too much going on. They had to cut out at least one of the plot threads going on in order for me to say, like, this is great. Something about when it was just getting towards the end, I'm just like, oh, wait, why was this happening? When did this happen? What was going on here? Who is living on the head of the demon again? Like all that stuff. And I'm just like, man, this is really creative. It just needed to cut like one of those extra story threads. But I did enjoy it.
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. You've mentioned before that you prefer the first Terrifier over its sequel. I'm curious why. For me, the only weak link was the mother character.
So I will admit, part of it's gonna be seeing the third one because there's a lot of stuff at the end of the second one that's unanswered, and we have to see if it's answered in the third one. Which honestly, even if it isn't, I still think it'd be okay. That'd be part of the fun is creating like this mythos. But no, I thought the first one was just a little tighter and a little bit more. I don't want to say straightforward, but. I don't think it needs to be super complicated. And the second one, it doesn't get complicated to a point where like it hurts the film, but it is something where I do kind of look at the running time and say, okay, like this is good. I'm liking it, but man, I wish this was like a half hour shorter. You know what I mean? And part of that is I think if they just cut down some of the complicated parts of it, but I like a lot of what they added too with like, the kid in there and him doing the laundry at the beginning was great.
Prowl, thank you for the $10 super chat. Happy Nostalgia-ween, Doug. A couple of months back, I asked you if you had checked out Green Eggs and Ham series on Netflix. I'm wondering if you got a chance to yet, and could it be a possible review?
No, I still haven't yet. I'm sorry. I've heard good things about it, but it's one of the many shows I'm trying to catch up on. I will say this. I've comes back to boxing in the morning. At least I'm doing every other day, and I finished up all the shows I have to watch for Disney December. So now I'm just watching shows I want to watch in the morning. So maybe I'll include that on there. Right now I'm doing Futurama. I want to watch Batman Beyond, and Static Shock. I want to get through those shows, and then that'll probably be one I'll run through too because I heard it's pretty good.
Patrick, thank you for the $5 super chat. Is the reason why you can't get into My Little Pony Friendship is Magic because you just see it as a newer iteration of the 80s cartoon?
No, it's well, I mean, I can't. I guess I can't really say because I didn't watch much of the 80s cartoon, but I got a vibe. I got enough of a vibe. That wouldn't be my thing. But no, it looks like everything. That was the same way He-Man or Transformers. It's like, that's just meant for like boys, not really like grown-ups or teens or whatever. Or grown-ups or teens that want to feel like little boys again. You know what I mean? It's like, that was My Little Pony. This is something that actually is like, okay, let's actually like give it a good story, give it interesting characters, have an interesting scenario and stuff like that. It's just not something that grabs me. But I think it is a good idea, and I feel like I've seen that done other places too. The idea about studying the strengths and even to some extent the weaknesses of like forming friendships and connections with people and stuff. So it can be interesting. I'm sure they do it interesting. It's just not in a way that interests me enough to keep watching it, if that makes sense. But I see why it's popular. I see why it has a following and everything.
89 Sigma, thank you for the $5 super chat. Mr. Walker, I have a question if you don't mind me asking. Which bad movies do you honestly believe that are truly misunderstood or underrated?
Let me see. I feel like there's there's one. I gotta watch it again. And I actually saw Brad Jones's review of it. This is a movie I don't think anyone knows about. It's a movie called Bingo. It's about a boy and his dog. It's a very basic story like that. And we remember watching just saying, oh, that was stupid. Like everyone just treats the dog like it's a human, and that joke can only go so far. It's so lame. And then at the end of his review, he said maybe the idea was this is a satire of a boy and his dog movies where everyone just treats the dog so adult to the point where they just treat him like he's a human being. And I'm like, that kind of blew my mind. It made me want to watch the movie again and just be like, wait, was that what it was trying to do? Like, because that would have just completely gone over my head because I was a little kid. So I kind of want to see it again. That might be one.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Question for both of you. What are your thoughts on Pretty Woman? Gary Marshall is hit and miss, but I think it's his best. I like Pretty Woman.
Yeah, it's fine. I didn't quite fall in love with it like a lot of people did. But I will say this. It's not a movie I grew up with. I always heard a lot about it. So finally sat down, watched with my wife. Not expecting to hate it, but probably not expecting to like it. Like I'm going to see all these lame cliches and everything. And I was kind of like, this isn't bad. These people are charming. It's interesting. I did know some scenes. I knew like the shopping scene. Was it the big mistake? I knew like that scene and everything. But no, I thought it worked pretty well.
Ooh, Jeremiah, thank you for the 500 bits. Have you seen Agatha All Along, Disney-sember?
So I did most of the first episode. I wasn't getting into it. But I have heard some people say like it gets better if you keep with it. So at some point, I will put it on again and keep going with it because I really like that cat. I love Aubrey Plaza. I mean, anything she's in, I'm interested in because she's always going to make it interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll check it out some more at some point.
You should, Doug. Peer pressure.
Peer pressure.
Which Twitch is Twitch? Thank you for the 5-month subscription over on Twitch. Welcome back. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
It's been way too long since the last episode of Freak Show Cinema. Do you have any plans to bring it back?
I might. So I definitely want to do what's it called, Rock and Rule, because people have asked about that, but I don't know how it's going to do. So I'll probably do it in January, and even then, I don't know if I'll do like the Freak Show Cinema style. I might just do a straightforward review, but just call it Freak Show Cinema. Just give like my reactions to how odd it is. So I'll definitely do that one. After that, I'll have to see. I guess I've never reviewed my favorite movie, which is Brazil, and I have that in the opening as well. But I don't know how to do it because there's just so much to talk about. So I don't even know, maybe I had to make it like a super long video. I had to split up into parts. I don't know. But yeah, there are one or two movies where it's not that I have nothing new to say. It's that there's so much. I don't even know how I would do it.
Frank, thank you for the $5 super chat. You have a Pornhub joke in today's video. Sadly, in some states, you can't even access Pornhub.
Oh, you're not missing much now. From what I hear.
Noah could save. Noah, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, I assume you'll do Disney-cember for Spider-Man 2 PS5 since you missed it last year.
Yes. Yeah, actually, I need the footage for that. Actually, the big one is hoping that I can get Epic Mickey done before the end of the year, so I can do a review with that. If not, I might just do like review Mufasa or something like that. But yeah, I'm hoping I can get that done and get a review in time too.
Godzilla fan, thank you for the 500 bits. Hey guys, long time been writing. How excited was your theater in Deadpool and the Wolverine?
Excited, not like crazy, like people going raw like that, but there are people laughing and applauding and stuff like that. There's moment where you kind of know when you have like one of those crowds, like in a good way, and when you don't, because there are moments where I was laughing really loud and nobody else really was. I'm just like, yeah, okay. Like I should have waited. I did see an earlier show too that was part of it, so I'm like, I should have waited like 2 hours later or something like that. Wait till it got dark out and get that crowd in there. But it was still fun. People were laughing and everything.
The Ultimate Frozen fan, thank you for the $5 super chat. Saw Fargo hilarious. You've referenced it with the clip "That's a Good One" and soundbite "More to Life Than Money" in Jima Reindeer. Any plans for an NC on it?
Man, that's another one where what could I add? I feel like everyone's talked about that movie. It is a fun one to reference. I mean, we still quote it all the time whenever somebody gets something wrong. Either me or Rob will just say, "Not sure I agree 100% on your police work there, Lou." Yeah, we love quoting it. So, I don't know. I'd have to think of like something new to say about that everyone else hasn't already said. I feel like everyone's kind of said everything about it.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Have you seen Surf's Up? It's a movie where a penguin enters a surf contest and the movie is filmed in a mockumentary style like Parks and Rec.
No, I was kind of sick of penguins at that point because there are so many penguin movies, and I guess I hear that one's okay. So maybe I'll check it out. Actually, that may be nostalgic now, so I'll put it down. There's probably an audience for it now.
Edge Bedlam, thank you for the 59 NOK through Super Chat. Have you added the Pepperami commercials to your commercial video?
Okay, I did see those. I'm trying to remember, were they foreign commercials? I think I'm blanking. I just remember I saw it. I was like, what? Let me put it this way. If I did, I have a folder where I save a bunch of them. So if it's in there, it's in there. I didn't word that especially interesting, but yes, if it was one where I said, okay, I can definitely do something with this, it's in the folder.
Small Movie World, thank you for the 500 bits. So what's the title of the next commercial special, since we've seemed to be running out of cliche movie titles? Few I can suggest include Across the Commercial Verse, Commercials versus Commercials, Commercials in Space, Commercials in the Hood, Commercials. So very tired.
Yeah, I gotta see, because I think I've been doing Planet of the Apes and Halloween movies / Pink Panther movies. You can include those in the same thing. So yeah, I just had to pray to keep making Halloween and Planet of the Apes movies. I mean, I guess I don't want to call the next one Commercials Ends because they're still going. So I'll look it up. I keep wanting to use the Planet of the Apes and Halloween movies, but if I run out of them, yeah, maybe I'll take one of your ideas.
Jace, thank you for the $5 super chat. Fun fact, the band that performed the Killer Clowns theme, the Dickies, never actually saw footage of the film at all, so the song was made on the fly and blind.
I was going to say, do you really need to? It's one of those movies where you just hear the title and the film is kind of exactly what you think it's going to be. It's kind of like Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. It's like, yeah, that's about what I thought it'd be.
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. Top 3 favorite horror movie characters.
Gotta be Eleanor from The Haunting. She's a big one. Let me see. I probably wants to just throw Ash on there. He's just such a fun, goofy character. When I think of horror films, I just think of that. And I guess the Frankenstein monster. I think that makes sense.
Jack Shee, thank you for the €5 super chat. Hey, Doug, will you be seeing Terrifier 3? From what I heard, it's bat shoot insane, and it's even more shocking than the first two.
Yeah, I heard. I guess some people were walking out. It was so
Oh,
like bloody and
really?
intense and stuff. Yeah, that's pretty hard to do nowadays, especially
Yeah.
people going to a horror film. So, yeah, I'm a little curious about it. I don't know if I'll be able to see it this week. Man, I hope I can though, because I really love those movies. I will do my best, but I'll definitely see it in the theater. I don't know if it'll be this weekend, but I definitely will get around to it.
The Ultimate Frozen fan, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Doug, saw the Brian De Palma film Blowout with John Travolta. Did not have the happy ending I was expecting. Any plans for an NC on it?
I didn't even know it existed. I mean, he's done a lot of movies. Well, both Travolta and De Palma, but yeah, I didn't know they actually came together on a movie there. I will try and check it out.
Headshot, thank you for the $5 super chat. You know, the one other positive thing that came from reviewing Kindergarten Cop, you didn't run screaming to the bathroom this time.
That's true. And I must have reviewed other Arnold movies after that. But I guess Arnold kid-related ones. I guess that makes sense.
Stead, thank you for the $10 super chat. Doug, if you could fix up one of these DreamWorks films to make it as good as the sequel, which one would it be? Shrek 1, Puss in Boots 1, Madagascar 1?
Uh, Probably. And again, I know I'm in the minority here. Probably Shrek 1, because I don't think it would take much. I think just punching up the jokes a little bit. That's kind of all it needs, and editing some scenes down. I don't think it needs too much else outside of that. Oh, and then getting rid of the third act breakup. I think if you just fix those, I probably like it as much as everyone else does.
The Beetle Boy, thank you for the $5 super chat. Happy Nostalgia-ween, celebrating by rewatching the Treehouse of Horrors. Doug, thoughts on Homer 3 from episode 6? My personal fave Treehouse of Horror segment.
I do like that one a lot. I like when the priest is there. Do you see a light, Homer? Yeah. Move towards the light. That really cracked me up. Yeah, I like that episode. That was definitely back when like there's a real excitement to when the next Simpsons Halloween special was coming out, what they were gonna do. So yeah, I enjoy that a great deal.
Maggie, thank you for the $5 super chat. Are you planning on seeing Terrifier 3? We are hyped for tomorrow night's showing. Wish me and my partner Lily good luck.
Yeah, no, I do want to see it. I don't know when I'm gonna get around to seeing it. Hopefully I can get there this weekend. But yeah, I'm pretty excited for it. That's the other two I thought were great fun, and yeah, I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see what's making people walk out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Small Movie World, thank you for the 500 bits. This question is part 1 of 8. Kidding. But seriously, what was the inspiration behind Chaplin's voice?
I guess that was just kind of the voice I saw for him, and neither are Cat. I mean, I love him to death, but neither are particularly smart. And you know, they'll just kind of do the same thing. Like, okay, so we have to keep the door to our bedroom closed and keep the cats out because they'll literally just sit on our faces. Like if we're gonna, you know, try to sleep in there and everything. So they're always there waiting, like, oh, we're gonna go in the room, we're gonna go in the room. And all I had to do is open the room across the hall, and Champ would just running like, yay, here we go, we're going in here. And I just go in my room, and he's always, and every time I close the door, he just turns around like, what? Like, this happens every time, buddy. Like, so yeah, it's just a very just a very kind, lovable, but not very bright character.
Rancy Gaming, thank you for the $10 super chat. So, Doug, I would just like to say you are almost done with Epic Mickey. And I'm letting you know right now there's a massive bug in the final level that soft locks until fixed.
I can't be that close to done already.
I
What would
know,
that be, like two
I
streams?
find that
That
hard
can't
to
be.
believe.
That
I'll look that up. Let me look
yeah,
that up,
we may have
especially
to
if
look
there's
into
a
that.
bug that's gonna soft lock you out of the ending. Let me.
Well, on top of that, I just gotta see if it's like, oh, maybe I should have been doing all those errands for the other characters.
Yeah. All right.
We just fought our first boss like last stream. Like,
Yeah.
that doesn't sound right.
Okay. Sorry, I'm still writing note. Lock out bug. Okay. Cool. Great. Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Which 2012 animated film do you like more, Paranorman or Wreck-It Ralph?
Paranorman. Wreck-It Ralph is very good, but yeah, Paranorman's just a little bit more up my alley. I think what they did with the message was a little more clever. Wreck-It Ralph is funnier. But I think what Paranorman does with the message is a lot stronger. And it's a bit more creative too.
Jacob, thank you for the $5 super chat. Evening, Doug. As a fan of Star Trek The Next Generation, have you ever seen or have any thoughts on the prequel show Star Trek Enterprise starring Scott Bakula?
Yeah, I tried it. It wasn't like bad or anything. I just thought it was a little boring, so I kind of just tuned out of it. I never hear people talk about it, but again, I don't hear it's bad or anything. I just heard it was very like meh, like it's all right, kind of thing.
Jace, thank you for the $20 super chat.
Thank
Dark
you.
Toons Felix the Cat Old King Cole taking shelter with a tall tale telling king. Ghosts of past royals fed up with bragging take the king and use a machine to literally knock/siphon out his hot air to torture him with.
I haven't done Dark Toons in a while. Yeah, I had to see. Like, I kind of feel like I gotta get the Steam back to do that. And also, I kind of feel like I might have waited just too long at this point. So, we'll see.
Small Movie World, thank you for the 500 bits. For both of you, favorite Halloween costumes you've ever worn/made?
So there was one Halloween where my wife and I decided to go as each other. So she wore like a Nostalgia Critic outfit, and I just dressed like a woman. Because surprisingly, we don't look at all alike. But so she did it. She did like the makeup and everything. She did the hair, did all this stuff. I'm really not kidding. Everyone thought I was a woman. my dad walked right past me saying like, oh yeah, so great. So do you know when Doug's gonna be around? And he's like, oh. And everyone at the party would just talk to me like I was just this lady, just this new friend or whatever. And then they slowly, especially when I talk, they just be like, oh my god. I just thought it was really obvious. And my favorite, I still have a picture somewhere. I just walked in, and my brother and his wife just had this look of like that the whole time. And I'm looking, talking to their couch. Oh, your costumes look great. You okay? Take a picture. And like they just kept the same the whole time. And so I have a picture on my phone, just the two of them keeping the exact same look that they just gave me the entire night. So that was pretty fun.
In middle school, I made a homemade Sailor Mars costume that I was very proud of. It was terrible, but that was before like cosplay as we know it existed, and like there weren't costumes for anime at the costume store or whatever.
Mhm.
Jimmy, thank you for the $5 super chat. As a Chicago native, did you ever get into the Michael Jordan craze?
Oh yeah.
It was
Oh,
unavoidable.
yeah. I mean, so we moved around a lot, and even then, we were still all over Michael Jordan. Yeah. It's like Heather said, it was just unavoidable. It didn't matter where you were, but it was pretty cool when you came from Chicago and you kind of had that little bit of that cred. Oh, you're from like the Michael Jordan town. Okay, okay.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Can you guys do an NC of The Walk from 2015 and any plans to review the Mighty Ducks movies?
The Mighty Ducks never did anything for me. Like again, it's totally fine. It's just exactly what you think it's gonna be. But I think for a lot of kids, that's like their first exposure to that idea of the kids that have no chance, getting together in their own unique way and winning the big game. But yeah, it just didn't do anything for me personally. I don't have a real passion for it. And what's the first part?
Do a NC of The Walk from
Oh, The Walk. Probably not. I don't know how many people even remember that movie. I haven't seen it either. I'll say this: I'll try to check it out because I've heard it's pretty good. But yeah, I don't even know how many people have really seen it or are talking about it.
TAF, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey Doug, next month after Nostalgia Ween, will you review the 2 Paul Blart Mall Cop movies in the next Nostalgia Critic episode?
So I saw the first one, which I was very indifferent to. I was like, all right, again, just fine, I guess. I don't know. And then I didn't see the second one. I think I heard the second one's pretty bad. Yeah, it just didn't leave it that big an impact on me. I don't know how many people really tune into it, so probably not.
Dave Z Dragon, thank you for the $5 super chat. I look into media that has become obscure over time. Nice.
Oh, cool. Yeah, brother.
Sean, thank you for the $10 super chat. This closest thing to opinion bashing I get as I should. A friend of mine hates Vertigo due to its many twists. I think
Uh-huh.
Hate is a strong word for a movie. Like there are other movies worth more hating.
Yeah, if you kind of to some extent I know what he's talking about because if you were to really analyze like the story, it's very convoluted and forced. But that again is kind of what's great about Hitchcock is that's not really about that. It's about the sort of the psychological, the study of this dude and this relationship that he has, with this woman. The actual like the twists aren't there to surprise you. They legit set up like what is happening to these characters and the interaction, figuring out who they are individually, then who they are as a couple, and who they were, and who they're becoming, and how it's both giving them life but destroying them at the same time. It's a very fascinating film, but it is one of those where if you're gonna take it like something that can happen in real life, it's like no, don't do that. That's not how the movie's supposed to work.
Fox, thank you for the $5 super chat. Why are you always David S. Pumpkin for Nostalgia Ween?
We were doing that before David H. Pumpkin. Yeah, we were the original David S. Pumpkin. No, it's true. I was wearing that suit before, and I just saw that suit. I said, "Oh, that looks like fun." And then yeah, we saw it on SNL, and we kept saying like, "We did it first."
Ooh, Jeremiah, thank you for the 500 bits. Finished Loki.
No, that's another show I gotta watch. Well, okay, I've seen the first season. I haven't seen the second season. I hear it's good. I hear the second season is pretty good. But I haven't finished it yet. I will get around to it at some point.
Agent Grady, thank you for the £10 super chat. Hey, Doug, have you ever heard of Charles Says adverts? The weird British PIOF with a bizarre, possessed-sounding cat called Charlie. Might be worth a look up to your commercial specials.
Charles says or Charlie says?
Charlie Says.
Charlie says commercials. All
Charlie
right,
Says.
I will give it a look.
Cool. Rancy Gaming, thank you for the $5 super chat. Also, Doug, are you going to look at the alternate cutscenes after you finish Epic Mickey?
I know I definitely gotta look at the a lot of the unused developmental art, because everybody's like, "Have you seen them yet? Have you seen them yet?" Like, I already think the game looks really, really cool. So I'm just so curious what's in here that people are gonna like feel like it's even crazier, kind of thing. So yeah, I guess I'll look into the other stuff too. I'll probably do my homework and look up a whole bunch of stuff about the game after I'm done playing it.
Tiffio, thank you for the $5 super chat. Yeah, all right. I don't know how else to word this, but what are your thoughts on conservative reviewers?
I don't know if I've seen it. I mean, I'll say this. Just me personally, I usually like people who are going to go into really anything as objective as possible. You can have a lean, like, that's fine. But if you're going to go in sort of like, well, this has to be 100% my side or I'm not interested or it's bad. Like, I don't follow that. I always like, anyone's mind should be able to be changed. It's like just a logic to it. And that includes humor for me too. But with that said, I've seen people that have, kind of a more heavy left lean or heavy right lean. I've liked fine, but I don't know if you would call it necessarily like whatever liberal comedy or conservative comedy or whatever. There still seems to be a focus to try just go for the laugh, go where the comedy is, kind of thing. And that's the comedy I like the most.
Kevin, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, you misunderstood my question from last week. What do you think is the most evil corporate thing ever done by the Disney Corporation?
Yeah, well, that lawsuit was pretty crazy. I mean, they dropped it. What was it? The person that died at a theme park? It's like, well, because you got a sneak peek at Disney Plus, that doesn't count. Like, not now they backtracked on it and they changed it, but like for a while that seemed pretty bonkers crazy. And for a company that, yes, has done scuzzy thing, kind of like any company of that size does. They're usually pretty good at protecting all that, or at least protecting the image. And that just seemed like such an obvious thing that's about to blow up thing for them to do. So yeah, that was a little surprising.
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. What do you think of the most recent episode of Bob's Burgers? It focused on Bob meeting his first crush at a drive-in theater.
Yeah, I like that. I've been liking this season for the most part. Most of the episodes I've been seeing, I've really been getting into. Yeah, no, it was good. It was solid stuff.
Small Movie World, thank you for the 500 bits. Your favorite Stephen King episode that you've ever done? I don't mean the movies, I mean in terms of actual reviews. The original It and Shining miniseries reviews are still among my favorite NCs ever.
So the one I'm thinking of, and part of it, I think the review is funny because we recreated so well the original, the Shining, but it makes me think of one bit that just made me laugh so hard. So we had Malcolm's being put in whiteface, and we're outside here. And this dude is going for a walk, and he sees him there, and Malcolm just says, "I just want to go in your libraries." And that was just one of the funniest things I ever heard. That slayed me. So I think I have fond memories of that review, not just because it's a funny review, but just that just really made me laugh.
Headshot, thank you for the $10 super chat. And Megamind, right after he orders Minion to fire the death beam, if you look closely, you can see the moment Meteor Man phase for a split second using his super speed. Blink and you miss it.
Oh, okay. Huh. Gotta go back and check that.
Jace, thank you for the $5 super chat. I like how the past two Hell of a Boss shorts are about actual assassinations. It's weird how after the first few episodes, the show became a character drama.
Yeah, I guess there's not a ton of that the more I think about it. Yeah, no, it's a fair point.
Jack, thank you for the €10 super chat. I used to be afraid of the cinema when I was young due to my autism with the loud noises, but weirdly enough, Paranorman was the first film I saw that made me more calm and ignited my love for movies. That's
fascinating.
Awesome.
Yeah, man,
That's so cool.
That's cool because, again, I feel like that's a movie that a lot of kids would watch and, again, would probably scare them. So it's kind of cool that that's a movie that you felt very at home with. I don't know. I feel like, I mean, yeah, look at all this crazy stuff around here. Like, I feel like just some people have a very natural attraction or even comfort to how did you put strange and unusual?
I made a mistake. It was Metro Man, not Meteor. My brain misread that.
It was funny. I was thinking to myself, wasn't Meteor Man like a live action movie from the 90s?
My bad. My bad. Sorry, everyone. Sorry. Thank you, chat. Thank you, chat, for holding me accountable for this mistake. No. Kevin, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, I know you were insecure last week because there were not a lot of bald geniuses, but Colin Mockery is a genius of comedy.
Well, can't argue there. But he has a little hair on the side. I don't know if that counts.
Jacob, thank you for the $5 super chat. Did either of you ever get a chance to catch the Disney World / Michael Jackson 3D show, Captain EO? Fun fact, it was directed by Francis Ford Coppola.
Yeah, actually, I did Disney December on it, if you want to see my thoughts on it. But yeah, that was actually my introduction to Michael Jackson. I'm not going to lie. I kind of said, wow, who's that lady who can dance? I did not know it was a dude when I first saw it. But yeah, I instantly, I never saw movement like that. I don't even know if I really heard music like that before. And I was instantly hooked. I just wanted to look up everything Michael Jackson. Of course, there's a ton of material. But yeah, no, that was my introduction to him. And I was just blown away by it.
The Living Mega Muck. Thank you for the $5 super chat. I missed the Roger character from the show. Whatever happened to him?
Trying to remember who. Oh, that's the evil angel. Yeah, I just haven't had another need for him. So yeah, there's some characters I haven't used in a while, mostly because I just don't know how to work them in sometimes. But yeah, no, it's been a while.
John, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you ever seen The Adjustment Bureau with Matt Damon and Emily Blunt? It's criminally underrated.
Maybe. Let me look that up again. Hold on. Adjustment Bureau. Is that the George Clooney movie? Maybe. No, actually, I have not seen this movie. Okay, I'll try to check it out.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. I'm going to do my best to try to figure this out. Question, will you do an NC of Unfriended? Unfriended.
It's got to be Unfriended.
Oh, Unfriended! There it is. For Nostalgia-ween.
I guess this movie must have really caught on for either how bad it is or just maybe it got its following. I remember seeing it and liking it, but I remember a lot of people just hated it. And And I thought it was pretty enjoyable for what it was. I thought it was pretty clever, especially back then when you didn't see a whole bunch of movies like that told it in this. Let me make sure I'm thinking of the same movie as well. Unfriended movie. Let me make sure that's the one. I thought it was fine. I will say I think the sequel was better. A lot of people that hated the first one actually really liked the second one, and I like them both. But that's another one though where I don't know how I can win somebody over with that. I don't know what I can say that's like brand new about it. I think you're either going to get into the concept or you're not. And yeah, I got into it. I thought it was really clever.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Heather, in My Adventures with Superman, which of Clark's Superman costumes do you like more? The first one or the one he gets at the end of the second season? Oh, I really liked the one he got at the end of second season. That was really cool. It was really awesome. I enjoyed that design and just the metamorphosis, how it changed into that costume, I thought was really cool. Also, side note, I just realized, like, 2 weeks ago, a week ago, maybe just a week ago, I never finished the season. I didn't realize it was something that was releasing weekly, and so I got to episode 8 and there weren't any more, and I was like, huh, weird. They left on a weird cliffhanger, but okay. And I just finally finished the season because I was like, you dumb. There was more you just didn't know.
That's like when I finished BoJack Horseman. I didn't notice it because they kept saying the last episode. So I thought this was going to be it. And it turns out they said the last episode before the last episode. Something like that. They phrased it really weird. So when I saw it, BoJack's not in it at all. And I'm like, boy, what a surreal choice to do that. I'm trying to figure out if that works. You have a show about BoJack and he's not in the last episode. Oh, it's really fast. Oh, there's another episode. Okay, that makes more sense.
Small Movie World, thank you for the 500 bits. Remember, way back in the day, there was a stupid made-up unwritten rule where if one online creator reviewed a certain movie or game, etc., nobody else was allowed to. Funny looking back, considering nowadays everyone reviews the same thing anyway.
Well, and that should be. I always thought that was pretty silly. Sometimes I would say I wouldn't review something because I thought somebody else just covered it perfectly. There's nothing else I can add to it. But when people are like, you can't do that, this person did that, it's like, well, yeah, I mean, you're going to hate film criticism then. Literally every week a new movie comes out and there's like hundreds of critics out there that review it. So yeah, no, I think it's more the voice that person has and the point of view that should be the interesting part, not if it's been talked about already.
Mega Muck, thank you for the $5 super chat. So I checked out the sequel to Cats and Dogs, and it's better than the first one, but it's not very good.
Yeah, I didn't care much for the first. I know it's gonna sound weird, but I was legit surprised. I thought that movie would have a good sense of humor. I think it's kind of a playful, fun idea. But yeah, it was pretty lame.
Harrison, thank you for the 10 pound super chat. Sorry, my brain had to process that symbol for a second. Hey, Doug and Heather, hope you're both doing well. Have either of you heard of Garfield in the Rough from 1984?
Wait, in the rough? Let me see.
Garfield in the Rough. I am not aware of that.
Garfield in the Rough, because I've seen a lot of Garfield. Yeah, this is the camping one. Yeah, I've seen that one. Where he has to fight the panther at the end. Yeah, I remember that one. I remember liking it when I was a kid. I haven't seen it since I was a kid.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Your top 3 favorite Robert De Niro performances outside of Brazil. No, Brazil.
I mean, I gotta go with Taxi Driver. It is great. I have to rewatch Raging Bull because I remember watching it when I was a teen and thinking it was just okay. I get the feeling that I like it more now. I love Rupert Pupkin. I think he does such a great job. I'm trying to go through all the other movie. I don't know if this is like his best, but I did really like it. I liked him in Heat. I thought he did a really good job. I really kind of felt for the dude. Yeah, so those are good.
Kevin, thank you for the $5 super chat. I hope you two have a humorous answer for a humorous question about Beetlejuice 2. How long do you two think it took Richard Harris to bake his cake?
I don't think I can take it because it took so long to bake it.
All right, there you go. JL, thank you for the 500 bits. We're a month away from part 2 of Cobra Kai comes out. What are you ever going to check it out?
Yeah, I haven't even seen the first half of the. Well, wait, and it's 3 parts, right? Isn't it like 3 parts? I'll get to it. I don't know. I might just wait for all 3 parts to come out.
Ugh, you're no fun, Doug.
No, yeah, you know what
Watch
it is.
Cobra Kai. How
Like
about
I get that's part of the fun. It's supposed to be kind of schlocky and stuff like that, but I'm just like, there's so many other things to watch where I'm just like, okay, I'm just slow down there, Junior, kind of thing. Like, just you're not Stranger Things. Even Stranger Things, I'm kind of getting sick of them stretching everything out. So, yeah, I'll just watch them all when they come out. I'll see them all before the movie comes out.
Small Movie World, thank you for the 500 bits. I remember when you originally stopped NC back in 2012, a lot of fans were quite sad and emotional about it, some saying how important the show was to them. How did that make you feel?
Surprised, honestly. I guess a part of me, how to put, a part of me gets it, a part of me doesn't get it. I feel it's healthy. A part of me doesn't get it, if that makes sense. But at the same time, I guess I understand when somebody just has something every week to watch. There's something familiar when things in their lives kind of feel like they're out of control. It's always nice to have something. It's like, well, this is always in control. I can rely on this thing every week. And for some people, that's like a nice little habit. It's a nice little snack. It's meeting up with someone, or it's a show they watch. So I think I do follow that. And no, it was very, very touching when I heard that. When they weren't saying death threats, it was very, very nice.
Leprechaun, thank you for the $10 super chat. Fun fact, the guy who did the effects for Killer Clowns also did the ones for Ernest, Scared Stupid, and some of the trolls in that film have reused masks from the clowns.
That's why I used that joke in the end of the review. They're running away from the clowns, and I think the woman says, wait, that one looks like one of the trolls from Ernest Scared Stupid. Like, yeah, it was a reference to that.
Bernsey, thank you for the 500 bits. Hi, Doug. Back in the 70s, there was a movie called The Warrior, similar to Escape from New York. The government had collapsed in New York and was ruled by infighting gangs. You could review this movie, or you could consider playing the 2004 PS2 game based on the movie that's very good, unless it's been moved to Steam. Good to see more of Vulture's Twilight-tober episodes.
Yes, I agree. And terrible confetti as a 80s aficionado-ish. I've not seen The Warriors, and I really should. I know it's like a classic 80s flick. There was a con we were at earlier this year. There was a big Warriors reunion, and everyone's like, "Did you see The Warriors? Did you see that?" Like, everyone just assumes I've seen this movie. I'm just like, I haven't seen it. Let me write that down on the list. That's one of the few movies I haven't written down on the movies I gotta see list. I'll put that down.
Christian, thank you for the $5 super chat. Are you 100% dedicated to becoming evil Mickey? Because it's funny causing chaos in the wasteland.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, to a point where, I feel like some things is just more like my OCD just kind of wants to see things finished and filled up. And I'm like, wait, no, that's helping out. Don't do that. Don't do that. I want to see. I just love whenever they ask, why would you do that? Like, now that person is gone. Why? And you just never have an answer. That just kills me. Yeah, it's clearly funnier to play that way.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Which Michael behind?
Bean.
Thank you. Character
Behind.
do you like more, Hick from Aliens or Reese from Terminator?
Oh, Aliens. Yeah, the one from Terminator is a little. He's a little. I mean, he's played well and everything, but he's a little too much of a dummy. No, you don't understand. In the future, robots are going to take over. Like, nobody ever puts together, hey, they're not going to believe me kind of thing. Where I thought Hicks was a little bit more just down to earth, straightforward. Like, he was a very simple guy, but he, got the job done, kind of dude. So yeah, he was simpler, but I think his performance really pulled him through.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Dragon Ball Daima is a Netflix series now. I thought it was coming to Adult Swim as part of their lineup.
I didn't even know they were. I was gonna say I didn't even know they're doing their Dragon Ball. I should just always assume they're doing another Dragon Ball.
Hayabusa, thank you for the $5 super chat. If you complete Gotham Knights 100%, you get a back credit card.
Ah! That's what I think about that.
Seth, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Doug, since you're a fan of King of the Hill, can we expect any episodes dedicated to the show, like a top 11 episode?
I thought about doing something with it. I don't know, because it is one of those, whenever I do a show, it does take a lot of time. But it would be interesting, because I think there is a lot to talk about. And maybe like because I keep hearing they're going to reboot it, maybe when the reboot comes out or something. I don't know, like before the show comes out, because there are some episodes where I was thinking to myself, speaking of whatever liberal conservative uh, comedy and stuff like that. I was thinking to myself, man, if this came out today, people would be like, that's woke, that's too woke. Or some people be like, you can't say that. Or what? Like, I like that it found that good balance. It was very believable. Like, these are just likable, interesting people, and they're very charming and funny, but they're flawed too. So I think that would be interesting to talk about. And I don't know when I'm going to do it. Maybe around when the reboot comes out. If I'm going to do it, it should be before the reboot.
Stead, thank you for the $10 super chat. Doug, in the spirit of Nostalgiaween, what grades would you give the 4 Hotel Transylvania films?
Let's see. First one an A. Well, I really like the first. Yeah, okay, A instead of an A plus. The second one like an A minus. The third one like a C minus. And then the fourth one like a C plus. That sounds good.
Kryptonius, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you seen any Mike Leigh films? He's the terrific filmmaker behind Life is Sweet 1990, Secrets and Lies 1996, and Naked 1993. It's spelled Leigh, Lee. I'm not sure which one it is.
Here, hold on. I'm getting a senator instead of that. Hold on, because I put in Lee. There we go, Mike Leigh. No, I feel like I've seen these films advertised, but that's about it. That doesn't help at all. But no, I will try to check them out.
Small Movie World, thank you for the 500 bits. Do you ever quote Brad in your life? Sometimes when watching movies with romantic tension, I find myself whispering under my breath, and then they banged.
We say that sometimes too. That's a fun thing to say. A lot of times when I'm meeting up with someone, I'll just go, "Hey, sexy." I feel like I might have stolen this from him. Every once in a while when somebody like falls or something happens that should kill the character, I just go, dead. I think I got that from him.
Sean, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hey, Doug, what did you preserve your original art wall in your office? If so, where I remember you did a video showing them, and I'm wondering what to do with my posters / artwork in case I get too much.
What I do is my brother's sister-in-law, I think that's the technical term, is an art teacher. So I just take all the ones that I'm just like, okay, this doesn't spark joy anymore. And I'll hand them off to her. And she loves them because she literally fills her classroom with it. And kids come in and go, wow, wow. And she gets to say, yeah, people sell these at conventions. You can make a living, doing this kind of stuff. It's still starving artists. It's not the easiest living, but yeah, they technically are making a living at it.
Fox, thank you for the $5 super chat. Why aren't you in the Channel Awesome office anymore? I miss the white walls.
Well, hopefully we got another one coming up. We're having like lawyers look over the paperwork and stuff like that. We found a place that we really like, and hopefully it goes through, because we had one before, but there were hidden fees, and we're just like, ugh, like that didn't work. But hopefully this one goes through. There's just back and forth, just straightening up, all the little whatever, crossing the T's, dotting the I's, all that stuff. And hopefully by November, we're looking to be back at a studio. So here, again, if everything goes well.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Don't forget, Doug, in Endgame, Ant-Man mentioned Quantum Leap, but that reference was not repeated by Rhodey.
I guess not.
Edge, thank you for the 59 NOK through Super Chat. A lot of kids' cartoons have some dark origins. For example, Jimmy Two Shoes was supposed to be a boy stuck in hell, but they renamed it Miseryville.
Huh, interesting. I don't think I know that one. I'll have to look that up.
Jace, thank you for the $5 Super Chat. Since you reviewed practically every Disney Renaissance film, would you ever consider doing Beauty and the Beast and the Rescuers Down Under to finish?
Yeah, well, there's a couple, I think. There's that Hercules I gotta do. I feel like there's one other one. At least one other one. I feel like I'm missing. Oh, Pocahontas.
Oh, God, Pocahontas.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. I liked your Paranorman review, and I like that I thought Norman's dad was too much of a jerk, though I thought the ending with him talking to the grandmother was nice.
Yeah, I agree. It's rough. It's rough finding that balance, especially when we're doing like a million other things, because you can always say, why didn't they just do this with this character? Like, well, yeah, you can do that when you're only focusing on that character, but when you're like a writer, director, and you're focusing on all these different characters and the story and how it's all going to balance out. And they head to a director's going to do their thing. It's not surprising when something gets lost in translation.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. What do you think of Carl from Dark Fate? Do you think the shouldn't have melted the Terminator from T2 ending was wasted then?
Carl from Dark Fate. Oh, I forgot that was the name he went under. It it was a choice, and I feel like it kind of worked. Surprisingly, I thought that'd be the thing I hate most, but it actually was kind of interesting. Um, a part of me kind of feels like it would have been more interesting if they focused on that a little bit more, but yeah, I actually like that part. Surprisingly, I really thought I wasn't going to like it, but that turned out to be one of the better moments of the film. Even though, again, I feel like there's a lot you could question about it.
The Wizard of What? Thank you for the $5 super chat. Hi, Doug. Wizard here. I've been a fan since 2016, and you inspired me to start talking about movies on Instagram 5 years ago. Keep up the amazing work.
Oh, you too, man. Yeah, keep going. Thank you so much.
Yo, thank you for the $5 super chat. A YouTuber made his own movie called Our Drawings, and honestly, if you reviewed it, it would be amazing. It's so bizarre. Uh-oh. We lost Doug. Darn it. I just thought he didn't hear what I was saying. That's all right. We really thought that we had some better internet today, you know? Doug was frozen today. He was indeed frozen today. Honestly, the way he was looking, I thought he was just thinking for a second. Just thinking for a hot second, you know? Yeah. I should have, you know what? I'm going to write this down. I should link the Frozen Today sound clip to my Stream Deck. So anytime this happens, we can just go, I was frozen today, and all that jazz. I should add that. I should add that to the Stream Deck. And an emote.
Sick of you always screwing up. I'm gonna. Oh, okay, good. I didn't have to do anything else there. Yeah, okay, good. That's good to know. Hi.
Fantastic.
I was totally under control.
Yeah, no, you were obviously.
Totally.
All right, so I'm assuming you missed the question about the YouTuber movie Our Drawings. They want you to review it.
Our Drawings. That's what it was. I heard YouTuber movie, and I didn't hear the thing. I remember that being brought up. Let me see. Did I see it on Our Drawings movie? Okay, no, I did not see this yet. I think I started it, and I was kind of like, okay, it's this kind of film, and it just didn't interest me, so I didn't keep going with it. Because I don't usually like reviewing YouTuber stuff, especially if I'm not gonna like it, because I feel like there's enough backstabbing and bad talking other YouTubers. I do feel like there probably should be a little bit more support. That doesn't mean other people can't. We're prime meat. I get it. I totally get it. It's just not something I like to do. So yeah, and it did look like the kind of bad I would get into, but I could be wrong. Maybe I should sit down and watch more of it, because yeah, everybody said it's pretty bad, and it did look like a little bit of fun bad. Maybe I should sit down and watch the whole thing. Maybe I'll like it. Who knows?
Frank, thank you for the $5 super chat. Do you ever get to see Alien Romulus? Thoughts?
I did. It didn't quite work for me. There's a lot of good stuff in it. I'm glad I saw it. If you're an Alien fan, you should definitely see it. There is good stuff in it. I didn't feel like it quite came together. But I can see someone else going in and being like, yeah, no, it's just cool to see these alien tropes again. In a weird way, it's trying to combine like all the Alien movies, which is a very ambitious idea, but it's also trying to get the bad ones in there. And I don't know if that was smart. So, it didn't quite work for me. I'll go into more detail in Disney December, but yeah, if you're an Alien fan, you should definitely see it.
Majestic Demon, thank you for the 500 bits. Well, that's getting added to the list of Heather pronunciation F-ups. Red Dwarf. To be fair, it was Wed. Wed Dwarf. Right next to Alan Romulus. Yes, never forget Alan Romulus. Zombo, thank you for the 500 bits. I'd be surprised if you haven't seen the following old school comedy I more recently came across by the name of Stop or My Mom Will Shoot, starring Sylvester Stallone and Estelle Getty, but any plans to review it?
I don't know. That feels, and I think Brad reviewed it, Brad Jones. It feels a little bit more up his alley. I saw it years ago. Again, I kind of remember it just being kind of dumb and boring. Um, yeah, I don't remember getting like a ton out of it. But he did a review, I'm pretty sure. So that's probably a better one to check out.
Bernsey, thank you for the 500 bits. Either of you seen Only Murders in the Building?
I've
Yes.
seen the first season. I haven't seen the other. I think I started the second season. I wasn't getting into it, but then everyone says it keeps getting really,
It's
really good.
good.
So I have to. I have to catch up with it. I mean, it wasn't now like 4 seasons, something like that.
Yes, yeah. The cast and the cameos are just fantastic. So it's
Mm.
it's great.
I should keep it. It's a good fall show too. When
hmm
I saw the first
It's
season, it was a great
cozy.
one to watch in fall. Yeah, yeah, it's a good way of putting it.
Keely, thank you for the 500 bits. I remember a long time ago you talked about how rare it is to see a mother character as the lead in a kids/family film. Well, I think now you can add the wild robot to the list. It's something I feel gives the movie a huge emotional advantage for sure.
Yeah, you can argue that. I can see that.
Noah, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, at some point would you make an NC for Transformers 1, The Wild Robot, or both? They're both awesome films.
I'll talk about Transformers One when I talk about probably all the Transformer movies. I'm gonna do that in some sort of big video at some point. I still haven't seen it. I do kind of want to see it on the big screen. I finally gotten to a point where I'm like, okay, because my original thought was like, I want to see. I know it's terrible, but I want to see Megalopolis on a big screen. I just want to see that train wreck as big as possible. I'm just hearing more and more people say Transformers One is just so good. And I'm thinking like, it does make more sense to see a movie that's good on the big screen.
Yeah.
That I know is going to look great on the big screen. I'm like, yeah. So, but I also got to see Terrifier 3 on top of that. So I don't know if I'm going to make it in time, but hopefully I will because I have been hearing really, really good things about it.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Do you plan on getting the Gravity Falls book, The Book of Bill?
Oh, I forgot about that. I think I might have put that on like my whatever my Christmas list or birthday list, like for my family or whatever. So probably.
Small Movie World, thank you for the 500 bits. Thoughts on The Toxic Avenger? I watched it for the first time a few days ago, and oh man, it is a comedic masterpiece. I could not
Oh,
stop laughing.
yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. Yeah, I don't know what else can you really say about it? It's fun, it's gross, it's weird, it's everything you want a movie called that to be.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. What's your favorite moment in Hook? I know it takes place during Christmas time, but I kind of wish it took place during Halloween because some of the scenes were really scary watching it younger.
Um, well, what are some of my favorites? Yeah, I like when he's in the tree and he's remembering his childhood, even though none of it makes sense. But I like the way it was shot. I like the filmmaking behind it and the acting. I do like the scene where Hook breaks in and takes the kids. That's a really, really fun moment. And I don't know if I could just include all of it. I just really like Dustin Hoffman as Hook. I think he's just so entertaining, and him with Bob Hoskins as to me. I just thought they worked great off each other. Just anytime he was on screen, it was just so much fun.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. How would you feel if you were blipped out in the Marvel Universe? Did you think that scared some of the people who came back from the blip?
How would I feel if I was blipped out?
Yeah,
I mean, I don't think I feel anything. I'd be blipped.
right?
And yeah, I'm sure it scared a lot of people in the Marvel universe. It's a solid 5 years with no Spider-Man.
Zombo, thank you for the 500 bits. Interesting idea for a list-based segment. Doug's top 11 favorite film noirs.
Uh, hmm. And even though I really like film noir, I probably have to see more. I've seen a lot of the big ones like Maltese Falcon, and Third Man, and stuff like that. But I feel like I got to see more if I'm gonna do that list. And again, I don't know how many people would tune into that, so we'd have to see.
Kevin Lane, thank you for the $5 super chats. This is part 1 of 3. I'm working on a Batman fan fiction with Dr. Lingstrom. Normally, he'd use a syringe to inject a serum into someone in order to alter their DNA. More to be continued.
Okay.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Did you think D3 The Mighty Ducks was the weakest of the Duck trilogy?
I'm trying to think if I've even seen that one. I saw the first two. Don't know if I saw the third one. I just kind of assumed it was going to be the first two again. You know what I mean? So I think I avoided it.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Don't worry about watching Mighty Ducks Game Changers. Disney Plus hated it so much they took it off the service. That's
Oh,
too bad. It wasn't a
harsh.
bad show. It was definitely not great, but it wasn't a bad show. It's just, and that's just why we always keep in what we want to keep the physical media, because now that's like that show's just gone.
Yeah,
It's
it's just
just
gone
gone.
forever. Yeah, yeah, I agree. At the very least, they can release it on physical media. And actually, I think I did see D3. The more I think about it, I think I saw it for Disney December years ago, and yeah, it was just very forgettable. Honestly, the way you described that, Heather, I'm like, to me, that's the Mighty Ducks movie. It's like they're not bad. They're just, okay, there they are.
I
Whatever.
had
They're
fun
doing the thing
watching
you
it.
expect. Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of my thoughts. I am still listening. I'm just letting Chaplin out here.
Okay. Kevin, thank you for the $5 super chat. This is part 2 of 3. I'm willing to incorporate such a method in my fictional narrative, but I'm afraid such a method as that would be perceived as unrealistic. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Alexander, that's part 2 of 2, so the 3 will be here soon. Or 2 of 3, rather, so never mind. Point is, there's one more, Heather. There we are. Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. I don't think this counts as a spoiler, but the most recent episode of Only Murders showed a hilarious catfight between Meryl Streep and Melissa McCarthy. Have you started the new season yet, Heather? I have, finally. I'm on episode, I think I'm about to start episode 3. It's good. Gosh, I love Jane Lynch.
She's great. Man, it's funny you mentioned, because like hearing that Meryl Streep and Melissa McCarthy, I'm like, man, that sounds funny. And man, Melissa McCarthy needs a win recently, because she has just been in nothing but crap. I feel like recently, and I feel like she can be very funny. So yeah, that sounds like a funny idea. So I hope that pans out to be that way.
Emerald Crusade, thank you for the $5 super chat. One has to go. Star Wars, Jurassic Park, Lord of the Rings, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pirates. I like Pirates, but out of those, I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna miss that as much as I'll miss the other ones.
Headshot, thank you for the $5 super chat. If you do review Five Nights at Freddy's, you should do it alongside the king of Five Nights at Freddy's himself, Markiplier.
Yeah, like call him up. We're besties. It's unlikely. I might do Five Nights at some point. That is one of those where I was like, do I do that this year? I'm like, I don't know. I feel like maybe the craze for the movie has probably died down. Well, especially the opening weekend. Like, I feel like critics were like into it and fans were like, hooray! And then just nobody went back to see it again. I think that's very telling, and nobody's really talked about it since. But I might do it at some point. It is an interesting film to talk about.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Fun fact about Up, instead of falling to his death, originally the way Muntz was going to be defeated was he was going to be lured into a labyrinth while chasing the bird where he would be forever trapped. I kind of like how dark that is.
Yeah. Well, with the Disney film, I feel like really any kind of animated media that's also for kids, you could kind of say, well, the person might get out at some point. Like, always kind of tell a kid that. It's kind of like in those cartoons where all these planes would blow up and they see like a little parachute go off. And I'm always like, but they're in like the middle of the ocean or like these giant canyons or whatever. Like, who's going to find them? That's kind of worse in some respects.
Kevin Lane, thank you for becoming a member for 6 months in a row over on YouTube.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. And this is part 3 of 3. If there's a more practical means of altering a person's DNA or even a fruit's, then I'd use it. But I don't know any geneticists. Do you two have any ideas?
I mean, it's Batman. You can kind of go. Didn't they literally turn Catwoman into a literal Catwoman at some point? Like, I feel like you could just do that and kind of make up any reason you want. Like, people go with it. I think it's more the emotional impact that it'll have on the character. That's more kind of Batman's wheelhouse.
Yeah, there's a threshold of disbelief that people are willing to, walk over or under.
Yeah.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Honest thoughts on the Proud Family TV show. Top 3 Disney Channel original series, in my opinion.
I haven't seen it yet. I think I'm going to try and see it next year because I have heard good things about it. I saw the movie, the little Disney Channel movie, which was very bizarre, and everyone that's seen the show has kind of been like, yeah, that's not really the show kind of thing, because it was just so weird. I mean, I was entertained, but it was weird.
Dante, thank you for the 54-month subscription over on Twitch. Welcome back. Appreciate that. Why watch Doug? Just watch porn.
Pornhub.
Fantastic. And actually, chat, I'm going to start I forgot to do this last week. We have a
Oh, that's
giveaway
right.
from literally like 3 weeks ago. I am so sorry that I keep forgetting about this. But it's a big one, and you can only win on Twitch. So YouTube, you're gonna have like 15 minutes if you want to go over to twitch.tv/channel awesome to enter. But I haven't started the giveaway yet, so just chill. It is for That Guy with the Glasses, volumes 1 through 4, right? That's what it is, and a music CD that goes along with it.
It is quite embarrassing.
All right, so I am going to start that over on Twitch. You're going to put !raffle into the chat to enter. Subscribers over on Twitch get an extra bonus tickets, and you do have to be a follower on Twitch to win. We have 15 minutes, so you got 15 minutes. We'll answer some questions, and then we'll pick someone. JL, thank you for the 500 bits. In Big Bang Theory, one of the episodes, they go to Will Wheaton's house and he gives Sheldon an autographed toy of him, and Brent Spiner opens the toy and opens the box, and then Brent Spiner goes on Sheldon, goes on his enemies list.
Funny.
Emerald, thank you for the $10 super chat. I don't get why there is a penguin fatigue in the 2000s. There were only 2 films about penguins before Surf's Up came. It would make sense if there were 5 penguin movies.
There were more so there was a lot of like straight to DVD movies. And on top of that, the 2 ones before it were just talked about so much, and everybody was chatting about it and sharing info about it and everything. Yeah, people just okay, you know how like with superhero people say superhero fatigues, but you can go to different superheroes kind of thing, different costumes, different personalities and stuff. It's just always penguins. It's always, they look the same. And then we get a Happy Feet 2 on top of that, so it's like another one there. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. I was pretty sick of it.
Frank, thank you for the $5 super chat. Are you planning to see Saturday Night?
I'll probably rent it. What I'm hearing about it, I don't like. I really thought it was about the real, like build up to the premiere of that show, and it's not. It's all fictionalized to a point where I hear it's like kind of douchey to some of the people. Like it's very douchey to Jim Henson, apparently. I think it's kind of fun if you have them like kind of make fun of him, because everybody was like, why is he here? Even he's like, why am I here? But I guess I hear they make him look like he has no sense of humor at all, which is just not him in the slightest. And which again, so I have heard it's entertaining. So there is a part of me that still wants to check it out, because I hear people say it's complete fiction, but it is entertaining fiction. So I'll probably check it out for that. But all I'm gonna be thinking is, man, why couldn't we actually hear the real story?
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Fun fact about Hunchback. In the scene where Esmeralda and Phoebus kiss, there was going to be a romantic song, but it was cut because they decided the scene needed to be about Quasimodo's heartbreak.
Yeah, or the heart rip, as they show, very obviously. But I think that's a smart choice.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. What do you think of the movie Big Daddy? In a way, my life feels like the beginning of the movie right now, being a bit depressed and all.
I've only seen it once, and it was back when it came out. I remember liking it fine. But again, I don't have a super strong memory of it. I just remember getting some laughs, and I think for an Adam Sandler film, that's kind of all. Well, for an Adam Sandler comedy, I should say that's probably all you can ask for. If you get some laughs, then it works.
Cody, thank you for the $2 super chat. JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Would you be good at playing Never Have I Ever like they did in Unfriended?
I mean, I feel like I have. I mean, that's a pretty popular college game. I played it once or twice. I can't remember it for, reasons you could probably put together. But yeah, no, I remember having a good time with it.
The Review, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hey guys, longtime fan. Will you review the Chef Boyardee rolling can commercial? Such a classic. Also, are there posters on your walls signed? If so, what do you have on what pieces?
Yeah, I kind of have them all over here. I have an X-Men print signed by Larry Hewson. I have Philo signed a few things. I have it's like Greg Peters, I think, who designed Pinky and the Brain. He signed something there. There's a Tiny Toons artist that signed Tiny Toon picture there. And honestly, the more I think about it, a lot of these pieces, when I get them at conventions, they do ask, do you want them signed? I always go, of course. Obviously I want, the signature on there. So a lot of these are signed, but don't ask me to say the artist's name, because I probably don't remember. And I'm going to look up that rolling can Chef Boyardee. O-D. Okay, yeah, you can go to the next one.
Alex loves musicals. Thank you for the 500 bits. Happy Wednesday. Are you guys hyped for the Wicked movie? People who screened the movie early are saying that it's not only a good adaptation, but a love letter to Oz. I'm excited. I am too,
Cool.
Alex. I'm so pumped.
It's so funny because when I saw the first teaser, I said, man, the one playing I forget which one, but the Green Witch. I'm like, she looks right. I wasn't sure about, the Pink Witch. And then seeing the second one, I'm kind of like, okay, the Pink Witch, and now I'm seeing a little bit more of the performance that's looking right. And so the Green Witch, I'm a little concerned about the singing. Like the singing's good, but didn't sound emoting enough. Like there's so much emotion in that character. I feel like, man, some of those got to be really punched. But again, it's like that might be the style of the music. So it's funny. It kind of switched a little bit, but in a weird way, I think that's good because it's like, okay, I'm seeing the good of both. And I feel like when I see it, it's all going to come together. And right, it's part one, right? They're splitting it into two parts. That kind of makes sense. I can see why they do that.
You can't see the face I'm making at you. But Cynthia, I can never say her last name, Arevalo, her voice is amazing. She has a tone, Doug.
No. I'm not saying the singing's bad. I'm saying that the emotion with this, you know what I mean? Like you can have like someone sing very operatic, but there's not much emotion to it.
Okay.
That's what I'm concerned about.
Okay.
No, I've heard her sing before. She's very, very good. I'm hoping the emotion is there. But again, that's where I got to actually see the movie and see what they do with it.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Unpopular opinion, I don't like Seinfeld or Friends. Please don't stone me, internet. I respect its impact on TV, but I couldn't connect with them.
No, that's fair. Well, and to some extent, I don't know about Friends, but with Seinfeld, that's a little bit kind of the idea. They're supposed to be kind of bad people, and they obsess over their world is these stupid little things, and they'll judge people by it and everything, and that's sort of reflect on us how we do that sometimes. When I was younger, I didn't really follow Seinfeld. As I got older, I'm like, now I'm into this stupid, dumb stuff. Yeah, I can see why this was really popular. So, and Friends, I gotta give another chance. That's another show I gotta watch, but I don't know when I'm going to because I literally brought up that idea about watching the show with my wife, and to quote her, literally, she went, "Ew, gross." She is not a Friends fan.
Aaron, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey guys, first time chatter. Doug, have you seen the show The Bump in the Night? It's right up your alley, especially the Christmas special.
I think I know what you're talking about. Hold on. The Bump in the Night. Okay, I've seen a little bit of this. The little bit I saw, I liked. It was a little past my time, but it is one of those shows I kind of feel like if I watch it again, I would probably just watch it for the stop motion animation. Because again, you don't see a ton of that. Whenever that's streaming anywhere, actually, that's an interesting question. I haven't thought about that show since it's been on.
Edward, thank you for that 8-month subscription over on Twitch. Welcome back. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Mitch, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hello, Doug. Does your top 11 worst movies you've reviewed still stand as is? If not, do you have plans to update?
I'll update it at some point. I also want to update my favorite movies too. I feel like there's a good 5 or 6 that would probably be on there now that weren't on there before. The worst is still Garbage Pail Kids. Nothing's topped that. But I mean, now I feel like we gotta get Cat in the Hat in there, Nutcracker 3D, maybe Mamma Mia. Get some of those movies in there.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In the second season of the Avatar remake, I'm wondering how they will do Toph. Though I really don't have much hope that they will do her super great, seeing how they already took my favorite character, Katara, and made her so bland.
Yeah, but Toph's pretty difficult to screw up. That's such a very, I don't know, it's very easy to make that character fun. I think you make her kind of tough. You give her, you could argue she's kind of the most powerful of everybody. You have the blind thing going on, so visually you can do a lot of cool stuff with that. You'd have to try to mess that up. You know what I mean? You'd have to actively really try to muck that.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. YouTube keeps doing a Goosebumps marathon on YouTube, and the episode that keeps standing out for me, Don't Go Into the Basement, where the dad recreated a plant copy.
Cool.
Currency, thank you for the 500 bits. If you're going to review Paul Blart, you should also review Observe and Report. A compare and contrast review came out same year.
I did see that movie. I saw that in theaters. It's bad. It is not a good movie. Yeah, no, that's just not a good film.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Will you ever do a review of Raven's Home for a Disney-cember or a review in general since that show just ended?
I'm assuming that's a sequel to That's So Raven. Is
Yeah,
that
it
what it
is.
is? Okay, I haven't even seen That's So Raven, so probably not.
James, thank you for the $10 super chat. I would like you to please explain why you hate Randy Newman. Do you not like his score, singing voice, songs? Do you not want him to win Oscars for If I Didn't Have You and We Belong Together?
Yes. He's just not my style. I will totally admit when he does write what I think are good songs. Like I didn't know he did the songs in Three Amigos. When I discovered that, I'm like, oh, that does make sense. Oh, those are good. Those are good songs. I like some of the songs in Princess and the Frog. Every once in a while, I didn't know he did the LA song. LA, we love it. I didn't know he did that. I actually like that song. So there are a few. But it's the reason everybody makes fun of him. They all kind of sound alike. I think the voice is kind of annoying. He's just not my thing. I also realize a lot of people grown up with him. They grew up with Toy Story, love his songs. Totally fair. Maybe if I grew up with him, I would think the same way. But yeah, he's just not my thing, and he's just so easy to make fun of.
Albert, thank you for the $5 super chat. Just watched Paranorman review. I'm reminded of claymation comedy of horrors from Will Vinton. Why doesn't this get love today? Sorry, more love today.
Well, ask Leica. Don't do your research on that. I'm trying to think if I've seen that one. I think I've seen that one. I've definitely seen the Christmas one. I think the Easter one. I must have seen the Halloween one. I'm pretty sure I have.
No magic or sorcery. Thank you for that subscription over on Twitch. Welcome, appreciate that. JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Would you ever do a Spider-Man review of the 90s series since it's a Disney property now?
So we did what was it? Fox Kids? I think we talked about that a little bit. It's not for me. I can never get into it. I thought it went a little too fast. It's funny because I praise X-Men for getting a lot of information in character to you, so quickly. Where Spider-Man, it was like that on fast forward. It was just too fast. It was just too quick where I couldn't feel like any of the character going on. So, but I know a lot of people love it, and grew up with it and everything. But yeah, it's just not my thing. I don't think I'm the one to talk about it.
There's only about 3 more minutes left on the giveaway over on Twitch. ! Raffle. Only 15 people have entered. Your odds are pretty good. That's all I'm saying. Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. What do you think of Data's death scene in Star Trek Nemesis?
Lame. It didn't really feel needed. It didn't feel earned. You can tell they were doing it like they were assuming there was going to be another Star Trek movie after. It's probably not to get Data back, but this wasn't going to be the big finale, and because it was, it's kind of a weak finale. But honestly, I still remember liking that film. Okay, I thought it had enough ideas, but that was something where when it got there, I didn't feel anything.
Sandheaver, thank you for the 10-pound super chat. Hey, Doug, big fan from the 5-second movie days here. Apologies if this has been asked, but any chance for a Blood and Honey review? By the way, it's past midnight here in the UK.
Oh, cool. Well, go to sleep. No. Or happy good morning, because some people do get up around that time too. Probably not. I hear it's really boring. Well, so the funny thing, I think that's another one Brad Jones did, the Cinema Snob. And because he's been reviewing movies from that studio for a while, and he says in comparison to the other movies they've done, it's actually not that bad. He's like, it's still bad, but in comparison to their other ones, this is actually a step above, which is pretty funny. So he's the guy to watch because he really does know that studio, and he knows what they're capable of, both in the best way, but especially the worst way.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Would you ever do a Disney-cember of Honey, I Shrunk the Audience?
Of the ride? We've talked about maybe at some point doing like the rides for a Disney-cember, like the new thing that we add. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if enough people would be interested in that. Maybe they would. I'm not sure.
Brady, thank you for the $5 super chat. Interesting fact, Alvin and the Chipmunks used to party with P. Diddy. What are your thoughts on that?
I had a feeling.
Freaky.
Yeah, you meet them in person, and you're just like, yeah, I bet they were at Diddy's house.
Alex loves musicals. Thank you for the 500 bits. Heather, how are you enjoying the latest episode of Agatha All Along? I think the show is a lot of fun. It gives Hocus Pocus meets Wizard of Oz vibes with an element of horror. Yes, I have been loving it. I've been enjoying the song too, the Witches Road song. It's been interesting to see how they play with that as well. Oh, I've been enjoying it. The cast is great. I think
See, that
it's an
does sound
interesting
cool.
premise. Yeah.
Like, that does sound cool. Now it's like, okay, maybe I really should check this out some more.
Retro Media, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey Doug, have you ever traveled to any film studios or amusement parks based on film attractions like Disney, Nick, or Universal, or even Warner's Six Flags?
Oh yeah, all of them. I think I've been to all of them. I like theme parks, and I especially like theme parks based on movies. So yeah, I've done the Disney ones. I've done like Universal. I don't think was Nickelodeon Studios even around when I went? I can't remember if it's like still there at one of the Universal parks, but yeah, like I don't know if Six Flags counts, but yeah, I've been to a couple different Six Flags and they're really fun. Yeah, no, I eat all that ketchup. I love it.
Okay. The raffle is over. So, I'm going to pick a winner. Let's do it. And the winner is Shouting Joker.
Hey!
Shouting Joker, are you still in chat?
Or should I say?
Shouting Joker, congratulations. Waveflow will message you and how you can get your prize. But congratulations. GG, Shouting Joker.
Well done.
Well done. All right, JL, thank you for the 500 bits. That's a critic. This is something you're going to have to get used to. Believe me, Spider-Man gets attacked all the time. Wink, wink.
Okay.
Great. Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Heather, you said you watched Vox Machina with your husband, so I was wondering, I know your favorite character is a tie between Vex and Pike. Who is his favorite character? He's a big fan of Scanlan. And probably Grog. Probably Grog and Scanlan are two of his favorites. Gaming Saturn Moon, thank you for the $2 super chat. The fifth Chris, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you seen the trailer for Mickey 17? And if so, what do you think of it? Pattinson really isn't just the guy from Twilight anymore.
None of them are, and I love that. I like they've really. You can tell they did it for the paycheck. They did it for, the notoriety. And now they're like, okay, well, now everyone thinks I'm terrible. Let's prove them wrong. And I'm glad they all did. They've all done really good work since then. Yeah, I think it looks fun. And I agree. I think that's a very different take for him to do. And, well, now it's interesting, too. All of them, with the exception of the kid who played Jacob, they all kind of took parts that were very similar to their Twilight. Maybe because their agent said you should take stuff like this that's similar to your brand. And then as they slowly moved further and further away, they got better. And I'm liking them a lot more when they get further and further away from that. That definitely seems light years beyond, I guess maybe literally in this case, Twilight. So I think that's really cool.
Devox, thank you for the 500 bits. Hello, Doug and Heather. What would you say is the best video game adaptation, and what would you say was the worst?
Worst?
Worst is interesting. I mean, best is Last of Us. I adored Last of Us.
Oh, we're on with shows.
Yeah, movies. I mean, I guess movies would be. I am always a fan of Detective Pikachu. I feel like that doesn't get enough love for being a good video game adaptation. I like Detective Pikachu. Gosh darn it.
I'll say with movies, it's really more just ones that are like just fun, like maybe Tomb Raider or like Sonic 2 or something like that. It's not really like, man, let's get that super serious one that really challenges you. It's like, no, we don't have that yet, but maybe we will in the future. But yeah, then in terms of shows, Borderlands or Castlevania, I think did a really, really good job.
Sorry.
I said Last of Us, right? Did I say Last of Us or Borderlands?
You said
I said
Borderlands.
Last of Us. Okay, Last of Us is what I meant.
Sorry, I had water go down the wrong pipe and had to cough a little
bit. Yeah, when I said Borderlands is the best adaptation, you can see why.
I was like, what? Excuse me? Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. I'm sorry, I think I posted this before chat started. What are your thoughts on the buried alive in sand scene in the 1994 Jungle Book?
Oh, it's gruesome. That's one of that movie for being, honestly, just kind of a straightforward, nothing adventure, but fine. Everyone that saw that movie, because I think I saw it twice, and there's like maybe 2 or 3 like brutal intense death scenes in there. They're not gory, they're just really intense. And after that one, there's just that quiet after it happens. And every time I always heard someone just go, whew. Like, as usually an adult, just like, whoa, was not expecting that in this Disney flick.
Patsy, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you seen Transformers 1 yet? The trailer makes it look way worse than it actually is. I don't want to spoil much, but it's really good.
I've heard everybody say that. I'm going to try and see it on the big screen while it's still out. I don't know if I'll be able to make it in time because I do want to see Terrifier as well on the big screen. But yeah, I've heard enough good things about it that I do really want to check it out. And it sounds like the big screen is the best way to see it.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Would you ever do a watch of the King of Queens?
I've seen like a little bit of it. Like, it's fine. Again, I can't say it's really my show, but a little bit I saw, it's totally fine for what it is. I don't have much passion to watch a lot more of it though.
Maryland Wolves, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hello, Para Doug and Spoopy Heather. Are you familiar with any of the Persona games and or Carl Jung's philosophical works? I am familiar with both.
Yeah, a little bit of Carl Jung. I guess I should know more. It's a pretty famous person, but yeah, I don't know too much about the Persona game except that people really love them and they're epic and amazing. But if you're to ask me, what are they about? I can't tell you.
King Croker, thank you for the 500 bits. Idea for March and John Malkovich, Marchovic month. You can review being John Malkovich, making Mr. Right, and the two Red movies, or whatever Malkovich movie you feel fits the time. You've done two Malkovich movies already, Aragon and Con Air, so you can build off that too.
I love that this person used the word Malkovich over and over because I love hearing you mispronounce it over and over.
Sorry.
And the only reason I say that is because I think I would do the same thing if it wasn't for the movie being John Malkovich, where there's literally a scene where they just say his name maybe 100 times in a row. So yeah, no, it's just funny because if you've seen this movie, you would never forget that's his last name.
I haven't seen the movie.
It's good. You should see it. It's a good movie. But with that said, I don't know if Malkovich really has the internet draw per se. Being John Malkovich would actually be pretty interesting to talk about. I might write that one down. That'd be pretty interesting.
Hailstorm, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Doug, what did you think of the movie Legend, where Tim Curry is the devil?
Man, looks great. I love Tim Curry as the devil. I don't think I got into anything else, man. It was so boring. All of it was shot in slow motion. I'm like, this movie would be 2 minutes long. It was just shot in regular motion. Yeah, I wish I got into it because I love weird 80s fantasy, and that's definitely a weird 80s fantasy, but it's just so slow and so dull. And Tim Curry's great. I love looking at the makeup and the cinematography, but I couldn't get into anything else. I kind of see why other people do, because it is definitely like a just sort of mellow out and just take in the atmosphere. And sometimes I really like those movies, but in that one, it just wasn't grabbing me.
Christian, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, have you seen Disney's most underrated film, Meet the Robinsons and Heather and Spy Family? What was your favorite moment between Yor and Lloyd? I just like all of the cruise ship arc. Just lump all of the cruise ship arc together into one.
And I have seen Meet the Robinsons. I sadly don't think it's good. It's not awful, but that's another one where it's trying to do way too much. I do like the ending when the way they utilize the message, and then when they show at the end who says that phrase. I thought that was very good, and I'll never forget that. That's a very, very good moment. But everything else I thought was just way too jumbled and kind of forgettable.
Doug Brigleman, thank you for the 20-pound super chat. If Sean Connery was still alive and you got a chance to interview him, what would you ask him?
Say goose stepping morange. I don't know what I would ask him. I don't know. Like, I like his movies. I can't. But that's kind of it. I don't really. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'd go back to a film of his I really like something where he really stretched what he does. Something like Hunt for Red October, or even honestly Last Crusade. I thought he played something very different. Maybe I do that because that's probably the most different character he ever played was the one in Last Crusade, and I would say how'd you prepare for that? How'd you kind of find that character? Because that was just so different. I just so believed it. For a guy that has such a a distinct look and a distinct voice that can't be mistaken for anything else. I'm really amazed how much he can just become different people.
Shouting Joker, thank you for the 500 bits. Even when watching your review of Paranorman, I was getting emotional during the scene between Norman and Agatha because of how powerful it was despite never watching the movie itself.
Oh, you should see it. It's very, very good. Again, especially that last third. As soon as they reveal that twist, it just it turns from good to just like amazing from that point on. It's just like whoa, and you can just tell when that switch turns on, and yeah, it just really, really. It goes from a good movie to like a special movie at that point. It just kind of gets better and better.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Fun fact about Toy Story, originally Pizza Planet was going to be a golf course called Pizza Putt. They changed it because they realized it being a space-themed restaurant would make it easier for Woody to trick Buzz to come with him.
Yeah, I mean, there's golfing places, but how many are just like when you think of golfing, you think of pizza? Like that's yeah. I think making it a like a kids arcade made more sense.
Emerald, thank you so much for the $50 super chat. Really
Thank
appreciate
you.
that. Thank you. I don't get how Pocahontas got its legacy ruined for fictionalizing history. Yet other movies like Braveheart, 300, Amadeus, Anastasia, and recent ones like Bridgerton and Woman King get away with fictionalizing history too. Why the double standard?
Because they usually did it well in an entertaining way. I mean, that's my thing. Well, so now some of them, like Amadeus, make no mistake, that is historical fiction. I don't think it ever claims to be real. But ones like, and like Anastasia and the Woman King and stuff like that. I mean, I feel like going in, you have to know, all right, this is going to be highly fictionalized. This is not going to be that legit. They kind of want you to do your own research and find out the real history. But I thought there was more intrigue to them. I thought there was more character. It was just more entertaining. Where I just thought the characters in Pocahontas were surprisingly bland and not very memorable. It's a lesson at that point you've heard a million times. I'm sure you heard a million more at this time. But there's some good things. I do like the colors in it. Some of the music is very nice. Her singing voice is
Gorgeous.
like, yeah. I mean, every time I watch it, it's like, man, I forget how good the singing voice is.
We are going to have to pick up the pace here.
Pick it up, catch
The
it.
Wizard of What? Thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Doug, Wizard here. Do you plan on reviewing Enchanted for NC or perhaps the sequel Disenchanted for Disney December?
I did it for Disney. Oh, excuse me. I did the first one for Disney December. Maybe at some point I'll do the sequel.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Real thoughts on Babe, a rarity for a G-rated film to get a Best Picture nomination, but for good reason. It's so charming and heartfelt.
The only reason I would talk about, and I do like that film, but it would just be to get to Babe 2 because I love Babe 2. That's a really underrated movie in my opinion.
Charlie, thank you for the $5 super chat. Keep up the great work. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. What happened to Orlando? I haven't seen him in a while. Just life, you know?
Yeah, it's been a while.
yeah, he moved away for a little while. Just life. Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Do you know Arnold Schwarzenegger tricked Stallone into doing Stop or My Mom Will Shoot?
Yeah, no, I heard that story. I love that that's true.
Jacob, thank you for the $5 super chat. As live-action Disney remakes go, is it fair to say the Glenn Close movie is pretty decent? Then again, it did come out years before the remake boom.
I remember being all right for like nothing great, but I remember being all right.
J Cop, thank you for the $5 super chat. One fan on Twitter is going insane, encouraging and getting thousands of people to see Transformers 1. You gotta support the cause.
I want to because I hear it's not doing well, and people say it should be doing well. So yeah, I'll try to check it out.
Jacob, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have either of you ever been in a car crash? I was in one when I was 5 or 6 years old. Very scary. Felt like I had the wind knocked out of me.
Yeah, the craziest one I ever saw happened right in front of me, where a car literally flipped like over my hood. A car was trying to make a light crash into her, went just whoop, 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 right over my hood. So I was with my girlfriend at the time. I got out, helped the guy out of the car and stuff, and she called 911. But yeah, it takes you a second because it really is like you're in a movie, like Fast and Furious or something.
The Wizard of What? Thank you for the $5 super chat. Hi, Doug. Wizard here. Here's an idea for a theme month, Karate Kid month. The new one is around the corner, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on them.
Maybe I didn't know versus new on them. Maybe I can do more. We'll see.
James, thank you for the $10 super chat. What do you think of the added song Human Again to Beauty and the Beast 91 film? Personally, I liked the addition and it actually adds something to the film, unlike Morning Report and The Lion King.
Uh, I admit something else needed to be there. Something to stretch it out just a little bit long because they kind of after there's the turn. I thought like they got to the ballroom dance a little too quickly, but I'm like, I don't know if that song was it, but I think they need one more scene together, and there's a scene of them together in there, so I guess it's good enough.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. During the lockdown days, I managed to watch almost all of the Miyazaki movies. I will say The Cat Returns and Spirited Away. I watched a lot. I'm taking a break now, but I'm sure I'll watch them again someday.
Cat Returns is really charming. I don't know. I feel like that movie needs a little bit more love.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Do you remember the Pinky and the Brain episode where the brain lets Pinky do a takeover over the world plan that, to his shock, actually works?
No, I might have missed that one. It sounds funny. It sounds like a really good episode.
Yo, thank you for the $5 super chat. I don't know if you answered my last question. I had to leave. How come you don't film NC at the office anymore?
Oh, we had a tornado hit it, and they didn't fix it properly, so we've been looking for a new place. And again, hopefully we found it. Hopefully you should see us in a new studio in November.
Will, thank you for becoming a member for 3 months in a row over on YouTube. Appreciate it. Andy Serkis is making a new version of Animal Farm. Have you seen the British animated film from 1954 or the 1999 live action version with Patrick Stewart and Kelsey Grammer?
Yeah, I've seen both. So I haven't seen like a perfect adaptation yet. Both of them have like a piece of the puzzle, but there's a lot of things wrong with them too. I hope Circus can do it well. There was Jungle Book wasn't that great, but he did have an understanding of like the book for the most part. So hopefully he's kind of worked out the kinks in it.
Headshot, thank you for the $5 super chat. Idea for the next commercial special, the Wonder Ball, a chocolate ball that comes with candy and stickers and a very catchy theme.
All right, check it out.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. What do you think of the live action Elvin and the Chipmunks movies?
Bad. I review them all. You can see them on our channel.
The review, thank you for the $5 super chat. Will you come to a convention in the Deep South, like Texas or Louisiana? I would love to meet you in person, but don't have the budget to go to C2E2.
Tell the conventions to have us out there, man. Say, hey, we want to see Doug Walker, Channel Awesome out there, and we'll see when we get out there.
Adam, thank you for the $5 super chat. See you at Grand Rapids Comic Con. Thanks for years of nostalgia and blowing my mind with the surreal reality of digging my art. Sincerely, Adam's Art Box.
Oh, awesome. And yeah, we'll see you there.
Talons of Water, thank you for the $5 super chat. Do you plan on reviewing the other Muppet movies for Disney-cember at some point? Like to hear thoughts on Muppets from Space, aka the weirder one.
At some point, I've kind of talked about maybe having Muppets be like the new edition we do for like a Disney-cember theme. So when I do that, I'll probably do it then.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Fun fact about Incredibles. Originally, Syndrome was going to be a villain at the beginning, and the main villain was going to be a spy-like villain named Zarek. It was changed because the producers really liked Syndrome.
I think that was a good change.
Ethanator, thank you for the $10 super chat. I wonder if Doug would ever react to this one movie called Benchwarmers with Rob Schneider and David Spade.
It just kind of looked like a boring kind of bad. I've never seen it, but it just looked like a boring kind of bad.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. And Casper, do you think it was funny when they were in the bar and the dad didn't look behind him when he was walking out of the bar before he died?
It's alright, I guess. I don't know. Are there really that many funny scenes that are like knee slappers? I mean, I guess there aren't to me, but maybe there are to a lot of other people.
Levi, thank you for the $5 super chat. Random thing to recommend, but for a future game, you should do Xenoblade Chronicles. Or maybe not, unless you want to spend 100+ hours in a game.
I'll look into it.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Which cop character do you like more? John Cusack in Con Air or Reginald Vell Johnson in Die Hard?
Oh, Die Hard. Yeah, that's I think that character's more fun.
Kirok, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey Heather, hey Doug. Doug, have you ever seen The Great Outdoors? And if so, personal thoughts. It's my favorite candy film.
I like it okay. I know people either love or hate that film. I'm one of the few that's just like, it's all right. I've seen better from him.
Ethanator, thank you for the $5 super chat. I think they just didn't know if their first one went through because it's about Benchwarmers again.
Oh, okay.
I watches The Watchmen. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Have you watched The Flight of Dragons? It's a weird 80s animated fantasy with James Earl Jones voicing the antagonist. Could be a great review.
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it though, so I'll try to check it out.
Kirok, thank you for the $10 super chat. Also, you should have Walter on one of these Q&As. I know he might be a busy person, but his work on Tober Zone is amazing. He certainly deserves a shout out. My question, does he do those scripts? Yeah, he writes
Yeah, he does
films,
everything.
edits, he does everything by
All
himself.
of it.
Everyone, if you haven't been watching Twilight Tober Zone every day, do it. Go do it.
Yeah.
Watch it on the channel. Walter puts amazing work into them, and they're great episodes.
They're really, really good.
Haunted Joker, thank you for the 500 bits. How likely is it for Walter to want to do a Tales from the Crypt-tober? If he
I don't
is,
know.
it won't be soon. I think he needs just like a
He's a
breath
breather. Yeah.
for a hot second. But that is an interesting thing to bring up to him. JL, thank you for the 500 bits. What do you like the story of Alien? What did you like the story of the Alien costume saga in the comics? I read it a ton as a kid, and they continued it in a story called Symbiote Spider-Man.
Yeah, no, I remember really liking it in the comic. I was always kind of waiting for the movies to get it down, but I feel like the Spectacular Spider-Man show and then the newest game, I thought handled it really, really well.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. And the Muppet Movie and the Great Muppet Caper, which villain do you like more, Doc Hopper or Nikki Holiday?
Oh man, that's rough. Probably Nikki Holiday because I love him singing a love song to Miss Piggy.
That's awesome. Okay, well, and to help address the question as to why we don't have Walter often on these Q&As, it's because we just got finished with all the questions and have 4 minutes
4
to
minutes
spare.
left.
Adding an extra person would add a lot of extra time. We used to do these when we just did it on Twitch with Rob as well, but
Yeah.
it's a lot with multiple people. But we did it. Let's see if I can find over here on chat. Gaming Saturn Moon, thank you for the $2 super chat. Would you ever consider doing the Wiggles movie?
Oh, I was thinking of Oogie Loves. I kind of know what the Wiggles are. I guess I'll look into it. It's probably past my time though.
Manchi Dude on Twitch says, Doug, did you know Joe Dante helped make Erie, Indiana show and that's what it is. Paul Verhoeven helped
Hoven.
make Starship Troopers Roughneck Chronicles show?
No, I didn't know about the Erie, Indiana. I've never seen that show. I hear it's pretty fun. Now knowing he's attached to it, it kind of makes me want to check it out even more.
Rob over on YouTube asks, thoughts on the wide-angle close-ups in Gilliam films?
Most of them work. Every once in a while, there's one where it's just like, okay, you just didn't know what other shot to use, and you're just comfortable with this. But I think for the kind of world he creates and the atmosphere and everything, they usually work.
Blabblet Block over on Twitch asks, what's your favorite Frank Costanza moment in Seinfeld? Last time when I asked this question, you answered with a George Costanza moment, not a Frank Costanza. If you forgot,
my
he's
bad.
George's dad, played by Jerry Stiller.
I like when I think he's talking about Festivus, and he said this guy like cut in line or something, and he used the line, "As I rained blows upon him." I always love that line.
Dibble is gold. Thank you for the 500 bits. Just saying hi. Well, hi.
Hi.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. The original Aunt May from Tobey Spider-Man movies turned 97 today.
Man, that's crazy to think. That is so cool.
Cody, thank you for the $2 super chat. Can you live stream Costume Quest for Halloween?
Maybe I'll look into what it is.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. The Wizard of What, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hi, Doug, Wizard here. Are you going to review the How to Train Your Dragon trilogy in time for the live-action remake?
Yeah, I probably will. There'll be another one where I probably just put them all into one video.
Power Gamer says, so a friend over on Twitch says, so a friend of mine decided to play the Moulin Rouge drinking game where you take a sip every time someone says love. His funeral is on Sunday.
Yeah, I believe it.
Aquatic Panther over on YouTube asks, what do you think is the best Ed Wood movie in terms of quality? Plus, sparkle, sparkle, sparkle.
Yeah, sparkle, sparkle, sparkle. Because YouTube. Just a quality. I guess to some extent, Glenn or Glenda, you can tell he was trying to do something. He was trying to come out. So I guess from that angle, you can give it some credit because it had some purpose, at least to him. You know, it just was done hilariously.
Lego Jonah over on Twitch says, hey Doug, it's that Lego dude, Jonah. Thanks last week for supporting my Lego stop motion series. It meant a lot. Right now, I'm designing the world right now. And when I make you, I will animate you destroying the Bat credit card.
Nice. Can't wait.
Alex Loves Musicals, thank you for the 500 bits. If you ever do a Muppet movie review, there was an odd one called The Muppets Wizard of Oz.
There's a couple weird ones. There's another Christmas one they did that was really weird. Yeah, that is true. I don't have to just do the theatrical movies. I could do the ones they did on like ABC and the Disney Channel. That's a good point.
And Mitchell Pape over on YouTube asks, Doug, which of these do you like? The original Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, or Day of the Dead?
I'm trying to think. So I've seen the original. I've seen the one where they're in the mall. I don't think I've seen the other ones. I do like the mall one a lot, but I mean the original. You kind of gotta go with. It's a classic.
This will have to be the last one. JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Hope you guys have a good night. Wish you lived nearby so I could say hi.
Oh, say hi right here.
Yeah,
That's a great thing about the internet.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here. We're gonna wrap it up. We do have content on Twitch 5 days a week, and now we have content on YouTube 2 days. Well, live content. There's more than just
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we do have more than 1 day a week of content on YouTube. Like I said, if you haven't been checking out Walter's Twilight Tober Zone, you should be, and also Nostalgia Critic. You know the drill, YouTube. Okay, you know it. But now we have 2 live streams a week on YouTube. Wednesday and Friday. Doug will be here on Friday, both on Twitch and YouTube, playing more of Epic Mickey and apparently maybe hitting towards the end. I don't know. I'm gonna look that up.
That has to be wrong.
I'm gonna look it up. Over on the Twitch side of things, we're gonna go raid Miss Tamara Chambers. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. If you were in the path of the storm, please stay safe. I saw a couple people saying that they were in Tampa. Stay safe, okay? Stay safe, please. All right.
Stay safe. I'm telling you, stay safe.
That's right. Have a wonderful evening, and we will see you all later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.